العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. I start with the name of Allah, seeking the reward from Allah and from Allah alone. Starting with this basmala, this saying, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It is a beneficial matter in following the sunnah, the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who informed us that each of the deeds, each of the good deeds that is not began with this basmala, it is deficient in some way, it is missing something. So we follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in this. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We thank and praise Allah for the countless endowments, the blessings that Allah has given to us, without Allah being obligated to give even one matter. And among the gifts, among the blessings, among the benefits that Allah has given to us, the greatest is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, our Islam. Being blessed with Islam, the one true, correct religion that is accepted by Allah. Without it, without Islam, the deeds, the good deeds of one of us is not accepted. It is not something that would have been seen by us, its reward on the day of judgment or in the hereafter. So what a great blessing it is that Allah has blessed me and you with the gift of Islam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. I humbly ask Allah to raise the rank of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, who is the best of creations. And I ask Allah to protect the nation of Prophet Muhammad from what it is that he, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, feared for his nation. Thereafter, inshallah, we will continue the review from the text entitled The Lucid Word. And the last time that we were together, we reached the section that is dedicated to clarifying the conditions for the validity of purification and the rules of tayammum. And we mentioned the last time that we were together that the conditions of valid purification are 5. There are 5 conditions that must be satisfied for the purification of one to be valid. And the first is Islam. So a non-Muslim's purification from the minor or the major ritual impurities is not valid. The second condition that we mentioned is tamyiz. That is, having the capacity to reason and discern, to discriminate between different things. So, purification that is performed by someone who is not mumayyiz, like a child, a young child, or an insane person, it is not valid. And the third condition that we mentioned is the absence of anything which prevents the water from reaching the part that must be washed, or wiped. So there was something that prevents the water from getting on a part that needs to be washed, like the hand for the one making wudu, or like all of the body for the one with performing a ghusl. If there is something that prevents the water from running upon them, like paint or nail polish on the fingernails, or oil, something that prevents the water from going on that body part, then in fact, this would mean that purification would not be valid, as the condition has not been satisfied. However, if there was something, even something that conceals the color of the skin, like ink, for example, on a part that needs to be washed, that would not affect the purification, that would not prevent the purification from occurring. Thus, the purification would be valid. Another condition for the valid purification is for water to flow on the part that must be washed. While this water is pure and purifying water, even if the water flowed on it because of it being assisted by one pushing that water with his hand. And the fifth condition is that one would use pure and purifying water, like rainwater, for example, or spring water, for example. And this is water that is not changed in a way that it would change its name from simply water, provided that that would be something which the water could not be easily shielded from. And this brought us into talking about the rules, the status, the properties of water, what makes it pure and purifying water. And the author then mentioned, and he gave an example for something being changed, the water being changed, by which it is no longer considered or called just water. Like if there was water in which a tea bag was dipped into. Now it's not just called water, it's called tea. And while it may still be pure, it is still pure, it is no longer purifying. You cannot use that type of water to perform wudu or ghusl or the like. And if that water were to come into contact with not just filth, merely by coming into contact with not just filth, if it is a small amount of water, that water is no longer pure nor purifying. And if it was a large amount of water, it would maintain its characteristics of being pure and purifying unless it was changed by that filth. So what does this mean? The water is considered a small amount if it is less than 2 coolers. 2 coolers is about 51 gallons. Have you seen, you know what a hot water heater looks like? Okay. The hot water heater, it's a oblong shape, like a cylinder, usually in the basement. Yeah, most of them are about 40-gallon tanks. So you take that, add 25% more, that's about 51 gallons. So that's a lot of water. Anything that is less than that, even if it were 20 gallons of water, 30 gallons of water, 40 gallons of water that is less than that, and by one drop of filth contacting it, all of it is no longer pure nor purified. It's filthy. And if there was even a slight change because of the filth, then even if it was a large amount, if it was more than the 51 gallons, that would change the water and it would not be pure and purified, like urine, for example. Another condition for this water to remain pure and purifying is that this water, a small amount even, it still hasn't been mixed with something where it changes its name. It hasn't come into contact with filth. But if it has been used for purification, then it is no longer purifying water. So if this water has been used for purification, like making wudu, the first wash of making wudu, then this water, it may drip from the face or from the hands when the person is making wudu. This water is now considered used water, and it is no longer purifying. It's still pure. It's not filth, but it's no longer purified. It cannot be used in removing major or minor ritual impurity or in removing the filth, not just filth. Is that clear? That's clear? Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now, the person who was not able to find the water, he cannot physically find the water. For example, he was somewhere, he searched for the water, and he can't find it. And he's traveling, and nor do the people that he's traveling with, they don't have water. Or he's a person that is harmed by the water. There are literally people who are allergic to water. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise is due to Allah, who protected us from that calamity that Allah inflicted upon that person. So this one, they make tayammum. So the author said the person who cannot physically find water, i.e., they searched for the water and did not find it, neither within their belongings, nor with the company traveling with them, nor in the distance they are required to go while searching for it. Or the person who lacks the capacity to use water, even though it is present. For example, if they needed to drink, or their animals needed to drink, or they were harmed by using water, whether they feared death, impairment of a body part, or prolonging the period of their illness, for instance. In all of these cases, all of the aforementioned cases, one makes tayammum. And it is a condition for the validity of one's tayammum that it is performed after the time of worship, that one attends to perform with this tayammum, like prayer or tawaf has set in. So this one who is making tayammum, instead of the ghusl